Hello, class, and welcome back to Campus Life. I am your host and headmaster, Jared Bachman Stubbs, and joining us all remotely for a little hangout here, we have Black Leader Travis Grossman, Quarantine Soda Cans. We have the Lore Keeper, Connor Chikiti,
Hello there, everybody.
and we have your favorite professor, Levi Baum.
Hi.
We have, as you guys would have heard, the people who don't hear this early on Patreon, that is, the last episode was us just when the coronavirus terror ramped up to the nth degree. And at this point,
it hasn't stopped.
And it hasn't stopped. We were recording this on the Day of Fools on April 1st, for those of you who are going to hear it late. And the world is on fire. And
this is fine.
This is fine. This is fine indeed.
Hey, I got the Modern Warfare 2 remastered campaign this week. I'm a happy boy.
So I was going to say you lied to me as a joke. Obviously, it's just different. I went to go buy it last night. It's $40 on Xbox.
Are you sure? Oh, that's not bad. I mean, it's just the campaign, but like...
I paid $20.
What?
And I was like, I'm not doing it.
I can hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me double check my facts.
Because you said that to me, and I was like, well, shit. Like, I'm not very good at Call of Duty, but like, if it's just the campaign,
same.
I can like. I was like, I'll suffer through a first-person shooter just for like a lazy political drama. You know, like,
yeah, and lazy it is.
I mean, not to say that like
good.
Yeah, like you know, like all of the most of the Call of Duty campaigns are just basically like a mediocre political thriller.
I
pretty
didn't
much
realize until I was a full-grown ass adult that game convinced me as a kid that Russia would invade the United States from the east.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I can't remember the first time I played Modern Warfare 2, like the actual campaign, so I really cannot remember what my reaction was to Shepard betraying Ghost and Roach.
Yeah,
but,
dude, I paid $20 for that shit.
But like, dude,
Oh,
the
you
added
bastard.
the added scene in the remaster where Roach grabs Shepard's wrist is absolutely heartbreaking.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, spoiler.
Yeah, I mean,
somewhat.
I kind of figured because they added like little bits, like everything now has an animation, like with the original Modern Warfare remaster.
Okay.
It's like obviously the graphics are touched up, but like now when you take from an ammo crate, there's an animation of you reaching in.
Yeah, dude, I saw that. Like there was a gaming YouTube channel that like released that just kept periodically releasing every single mission, and like I was just surprised at that because I hadn't heard of that before. So it's just really cool to see the like little nifty added animations in it.
Yeah.
See, now my family was like kind of. I came from a family that was apprehensive about the whole M-rated games thing.
That makes
So like
same here. That makes sense.
Yeah, so like once that floodgate opened, my brother and I like he and I are very different people. So like once that door opened, I like went immediately into Assassin's Creed, and like he immediately went into Call of Duty. And like it happened instantaneously, and like I was just like, okay, cool, swords and like passive time travel. This is fun. And he's way better at all those games than I am.
Dude, I suck at Call of Duty.
I think
I just suck at I think I just suck at like non-AI multiplayer games, which is why I really appreciate now that I've actually re-downloaded Battlefront 2. One of the online modes is like co-op, and it's literally four actual players versus AI enemies, and it's good. It's just I wish they added a lot more modes than just capture command posts, which I hope they do in the future. But like the fact that I can rank myself up in terms of like star cards and everything, and like my actual rank just by facing off against AI enemies is just so dope. Because I would not live against human enemies online. I haven't. I suck at multiplayer.
I am like, I am very hit or miss on multiplayer. Like I'm either carrying the team or I'm in last place.
Yeah.
Same. I'm
Same.
like
used to be-
average.
see, I used to be really good at Call of Duty in particular because I like had a problem with it as a kid, and then at some point I like realized how toxic it was for me to be in like because Call of Duty, especially like everyone makes fun of the fact that it's a bunch of 12 to 14-year-olds just shouting hate speech. But
Yeah.
when you're that 12 to 14-year-old, like there's a point where you realize like, oh, this isn't good for me. I should stop this.
Yeah, it like hurts you.
Well,
Like, I'm breaking things and just like in general more upset in my everyday life right now. I need to stop.
I'm not gonna name names, but there's okay. A certain other member of this production team had a very bad habit of like raging with Call of Duty. And his name certainly doesn't begin with J and end with Ol Basenbach. But
You're right, it starts with T and ends in Ravis Grossman.
well, like Joel was never like the like screaming slurs at strangers on the internet type. But like I have seen him like just turn red with rage.
Oh
Dude, you
yeah,
should
no, I
see
would
me
never.
with,
I would never attack another person like over a microphone. That wasn't what it's about. But I would definitely throw shit.
Yeah, you
Oh,
should
yes,
see
I've
me
heard.
with Fallen Order, especially in the early stages. It's not good. And then I realize, okay, become a Jedi. This is not
You find your inner
Jedi.
Jedi. Well, like Joel, and then we've talked about him on the show before, but like all with the exception of Connor, because you haven't met him, obviously. But like RJ is a nightmare to be around. He is horrifying. I remember because RJ, and like I take him at his word for it. But like RJ talked this big shit about how he was like, as far as like the ranked play on Mortal Kombat 9, that he was like in the top 10 in the country at one point.
Holy
like,
crap.
I'm not going to say if he's lying or not. However, at the time he was like 13, 14. And I'm not saying that's impossible, but also that is just such a huge like thing to throw out there that nobody's actually going to fact check.
Yeah, exactly. It's the my dad works at Microsoft.
Yeah. That
My
basically.
My dad's an exec and he knows where to find you, kind of thing.
And like RJ would talk about that all the time. That was like right around the time Injustice came out. And
Oh man.
I was like, I'm a total cheese at Injustice because I just like, I don't want to say that I spam like cheese Batman shit, but like I know all the Batman combos that piss people off. And Injustice is like, I don't know if you've like played both Injustice and Mortal Kombat, Connor, but
I haven't.
I know at least you've played one of those, Levi.
Yes, I've played both.
Okay, you have played both. I wasn't sure.
I've gotten my ass kicked by you on Injustice. I got my ass kicked on Mortal Kombat by like anyone else on the planet.
I'm not as good at
Because
Mortal
I'm bad
Kombat.
at those games.
I like fighter games. Like that's my happy place. And like because Injustice is like just like a little bit slower paced than Mortal Kombat. Because like the combos are slightly more complicated, but there's not the combos don't flow the way in Mortal Kombat does. Where like if you just do the same,
They barely flow in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I know, but like the people who are really good at Mortal Kombat, like they can basically make it look like one solid animation with how fluid they are with the combos. Like I've watched tournaments and like the way they're fighting, like it looks like an actual.
They're scary.
Yeah, but with Injustice, it is very like boom, 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 breath, boom, 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 breath. And like RJ like went into it, and obviously they're both made by NetherRealm. RJ went into it with this very like I'm playing Mortal Kombat, but it's superheroes mentality. And like I just kept cheesing him with Batman, and in like a basement full of people, like he threw a controller across the room and called me every name but my own and a child of God.
There's this game on Steam called Nidhogg. I don't know if any of you know of it.
Never heard of it.
Heard of it.
Oh, really? It's a fun little game. There's these two pixelate things, and like you fence each other, but you're trying to get to either side of this map. like if you start on the left side, you're trying to get all the way to the right side, and then vice versa. I had never really played that. RJ was really into it. I had beginner's luck and beat him like every time, and he threw like a half full soda can at the wall.
Oh,
The
jeez.
bench. It was hilarious. To this day, I love making him mad, and he likes doing the same to me. Because when he and I, it's similar to when
Oh, you guys would
I
have
go
a
head
field
to
day
head with Jared. You know, I do have a competitive streak in me.
You guys would have a field day with me then.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, but because I don't want to slander his name right now, because he had a reformation. Let me tell you.
Oh, he totally did. He's way better about that kind of thing now.
Absolutely. I
However, he
played.
does have his breaking point, and he doesn't throw shit. He makes up for the throwing shit with like the horrible things he will say to you, though.
Oh,
Yes,
so it's
and
like a
that's
sort
equally
of
as enjoyable.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was playing League of Legends with him one night, and he only flamed me once.
Nice.
Now that is progress
That is
from the last
definitely-
time we
yeah.
played League of Legends with each other.
I bet that's like from the sound of this guy. I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm guessing that's a lot of progress.
Yeah,
I
I
remember.
love him though.
This is we're gonna hop in like the Wayback Machine here. We were in like I think it was our freshman year of high school. RJ had a birthday
Holy
party where we
crap.
were like all over at his house, and like I was like super exhausted, and like everybody who was there played League of Legends except for me.
And me. I didn't play at that point.
You didn't play at that point. I'm
Nope.
pretty sure they at least tagged you in a couple times to play though, or like you were way more entertained
No.
by it. You were like at least all I remember is I kept falling in and out of consciousness like on his bed. And like at this point, like because like, everybody has that like moment in time where they're like, well, these are the bed sheets I used when I was a kid, but also I'm too lazy to replace them. Moment.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, all
RJ
the
had
time.
that with his Shrek bed sheets, and I'm pretty sure
Oh.
he was about to, but like right before he was prepared to do it, Shrek became a meme. So RJ was like, I have Shrek bed sheets because this is fucking hilarious. And I just kept like falling in and out of sleep, like wrapped up in this little Shrek burrito. And like every so often I would be like stirred awake by the sound of RJ just loudly swearing and smashing his keyboard. It's hilarious. I don't gamer rage as badly. Like the closest I've come is like I don't even remember what I was playing. No, I remember. It was one of the combat missions in Battlefront 2 with like the single player arcade shit.
Yeah.
Because I like really badly wanted to get the Han Solo smuggler outfit.
Oh yeah. Dude.
Bearded
same.
Han.
I got that already, thankfully.
Well, you're playing Battlefront 2 on my Xbox, so I can unlock it because I can't do those last two missions on the dark side. but- Like I had the house to
Okay.
myself, and like it's the one. There's like 2 or 3 that I'm stuck on. I think I beat the Bosk and Boba Fett one, but the 2 that I'm stuck on are the Rocket Trooper on Tatooine one. We were playing as the Imperial Rocket Trooper, and then the one like the final mission
I hate
where you
the
have-
Rocket Trooper so much.
where you have like 10 seconds to kill 30 people
Oh, dude,
with like a hero, with a dark side hero of your choice. And like every time they add a new dark side hero, I'm like, this is going to be the hero that lets me cheese my way to victory. And like I like got halfway through it with Grievous because like I wasted most of my time just like letting all the resistance troopers gather up into a clump, and then I did the claw rush and like massacred all of them, and then like none respawned in time for me to keep racking up time.
oh man.
And like I had the house to myself, and that might be part of the reason why I let it happen. But like
Gotcha.
I
Let the hate
screamed.
flow through you.
Dude, I cannot remember the last time I screamed that loudly. Like you could have heard a pin drop in my house. It was so empty and quiet. And then all I hear is just like me just saying the foulest shit very loudly. And I'm not, and like I said, like, I'm not normally a game rager. Like be like, oh motherfucker, and I'm like, calm down, because like I'm competitive, and like when there's other people in the room, I get a little bit more RJ. Like I'll cuss somebody out just because I'm competitive. Like I'm worse with board games. As anybody who listened to the old shows knows, I don't handle losing trivia contests well.
No, you do not.
I'm kind of the same way, but then again, I just have this sort of competitive spirit in me if I know I'm good at something. Like if I know I'm bad at something, I'm just kind of like, I'm here so I don't get fined sort of mentality. But if I know I'm like actually pretty good at something, it's my competitive fire will come out.
Well, like the thing that especially with like Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, which is the one that we play most often.
I love that game. Oh my god, I love that game.
I used to. And then Spencer became my white whale. And now I have an obsessive compulsion that anytime we hang out, I'm like, we're playing Star Wars Trivial Pursuit. And the thing that drives me insane is that like Spencer and Joel will softball each other questions when they're reading to the other one. And like they're so much more charitable with each other than they are with me. And I know I sound like such a sore loser because yes, I've gotten my ass kicked by him for 10 straight years with one win to my name.
Like, is it really that bad?
No, he doesn't like curb stomp me every time. Okay. Like for basically the last 3 to 4 years, he beats me by like maybe 1 or 2 turns. Like there will come a point where it's just a race to see who gets the best roll to get into the center for the final question. But there was one time where I don't remember exactly how the question was phrased, but the question was something to the effect of, who did Anakin Skywalker father before meeting Padme Amidala? And what? Joel read that to Spencer, and Spencer just shut down. And Joel literally gave Spencer 5 minutes to think of an answer. And the whole time I'm cursing at both of them. I'm like, you would not have given me this long. I figured it out after you asked the question. I knew the answer. I didn't need
it. Say the question again.
Who did Anakin Skywalker father before meeting Padme?
C-3PO.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That took Spencer,
I was overthinking that.
Our great Star Wars trivia champion, 5 minutes to think of that. And Joel let him take the full time. Meanwhile, I'm just cussing both of them out. Like, I hate when people cheese during a trivia game.
Yeah.
Like, me too.
Oh, like
honestly, yeah, me too. And then everyone's like, "Oh, it's just a game. Calm down." I'm like,
"No, it's not.
Play by the rules."
No, it is not a game. This is
when
war.
It comes to us in Star Wars, heck no.
It's more when it comes to anything with me, like, have fun within the realm of the rules.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point of the rules?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and that always gets me so mad.
And there's some like
I'm called a child because I have a problem with it.
No, I get really angry. Like there's this one. You guys know the board game Logo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who
took me a while.
Whose mic keeps echoing back what I say?
I'm not sure. It might just be.
That is definitely Jared's.
Pass.
Okay. Yeah, it's him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was happening. All the mics are cut.
That's fine.
All the mics and the headphones are cut, so I don't know why that's happening.
Jeez.
But there's like a movie and TV spin-off of Logo that's just called The Best of Movies and TV. And aside from the fact that like some of the questions are wrong, like they have incorrect answers on them, and they're also littered with typos. There will always be like this. My family, and it's always me and my mom, who get into like very brief but loving screaming arguments over the semantics of a question.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm terrible about that. Like I hate it. Like I hate that I get like that, but I'm the same way as you, Levi. Where like I'm not the type of person who like kind of like with like Travis, like the latest the Schmodown match with the Butcher Boys last week. Where like the one question was in one of the Jay and Silent Bob movies. what is the one character's favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh, you mean where they answered and then Christian was just like, they didn't answer.
Yeah.
I got mad for them, and then thankfully
I'm glad they honored
won
that
that
challenge. But
Yeah.
I would have honored that question. Like if the answer to a question is The Empire Strikes Back, and I'm playing with people who are definitely Star Wars fans, and they just looked at me and said Empire,
Oh yeah, that's an answer.
I
But
take
also
that.
That's an answer.
But
Dude,
then-
it was funny. That just reminded me of something. I was playing Star Wars Trivial Pursuit with some friends of mine, and I can't remember what the question was, but I think it was something about a vehicle. And I couldn't remember, I remember
What
the vehicle.
color?
I remember the vehicle designation, but not the actual name of the vehicle. Like the name that Marketing has it and whatnot, but I remembered the in-universe designation of it. So I said it, and they're like, and I'm like, bro, I'm pulling out my phone right now, and I'm gonna show you all that is the correct answer. I can't remember I think it was something with either it wasn't the Tantive 4. It was either the Tantive 4 or an Imperial an Imperial air transport or something. And they were just like, oh, it's not on the card. I'm like, don't you fuck with me. This is the answer.
Well,
That's how bad it gets for me with Star Wars Trivial Pursuit. There are friends of mine that just want to screw with me. So they're like, that's not the answer. I'm like, the Star Wars canon says otherwise, my friend.
well, when that movie and TV game, I got a question and I got so mad. I almost had to quit playing. Where the question was, what is Han Solo's profession?
He's a smuggler.
And I was
Yeah.
he has 8 jobs over the course of 3 movies. What do you want me to say? And we're all going back and forth, and we're I said smuggler, and it says pilot, and I'm like,
Oh,
yeah. And you know what? He
Wrong
pilots
there, Bat.
a ship that he uses to smuggle shit. He's a pirate. This argument went on for 10 minutes. And
I've been
eventually,
kind of zoned out on this because I'm like, this isn't a conversation I can really get into. But now I'm heated. Like, what?
yeah. And I was arguing with everybody at the table. I was like, he is a smuggler. I was like, well, I can put the movies on right now.
yeah. Dude, I gotta say,
Nobody pays him to fly the ship. They pay him to store shit on the ship.
Yeah, he even says as much.
I was so
But no,
mad.
it's so
I'm
funny.
angry to this day.
Some of these questions, there are some questions in Star Wars Trivial Pursuit that, I don't know how I got right. There was one question in particular where it was, for some reason, I, forgot and somehow guessed it right. And it was, who was Red 6 during the Battle of Yavin? And I just
Porkins.
sat there. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, yeah, Porkins? And they're like, correct. I'm like, holy crap.
Well,
Our Lord and Savior.
yeah, our Lord and Savior Jack Porkins.
Yeah. But, there's,
Who bravely flew his X-Wing at light speed into the Death Star to destroy it.
and
yeah,
check out
beholder
Travis's
it.
new
Porkins dip.
YouTube video if it's out by the time this is out. But no, and again, I sound like such a sore loser when I complain about the question Spencer gets when we play.
Dude, no, I get the same way too
And
sometimes.
I swear, I need more people to witness these games so that they can see the layups that this man gets.
I really need to come to Latrobe.
Because I swear to God, he and I back to back. He got some bullshit what color is Darth Maul's lightsaber type bullshit. You know what question I got?
What was the question?
In the new version of Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, there are actually questions that are what color is Obi-Wan's lightsaber? What color is Darth Vader's lightsaber? I don't know. Did you watch the fucking movie?
Dude, those are gimmies.
And that he'll get shit like that. And
Yeah.
while we were playing, and I'm so angry this wasn't a match we recorded, or maybe it was. I don't think it was. The question I
It
got
was, but it was never aired.
no,
Darn.
not that one. Not that when that question was asked. Because it was on. I think it was on the old version, the one that came out right after Revenge of the Sith.
Oh.
I got this question that was in the main menu of the Phantom Menace DVD.
What?
What code do you have to enter into the main screen to access a hidden blooper reel?
What the heck?
I got it right. I said 1138 because that's
Oh, okay.
always that like
Wait.
that's like the Pizza
the
Planet truck.
go-to one. That's
Yeah.
a thing?
Yeah. And I was like, like if we were all just like sitting there, and I was like, see, but like we're gonna give Spencer 5 minutes to remember that Darth Vader built 3PO.
Yeah, like
And they're like, do you even know? I'm like, it's 1138. I guessed. It was an educated guess because that number shows up in all Star Wars media.
yeah.
Because
Dude,
THX.
it's so funny. No, go ahead. I'll just.
But,
It's
like,
another question.
I just get so angry, and I sound like such a sore loser. But like, this man gets layups, and it makes me so mad.
Yeah, dude. There's one question that was worded so weirdly, and I somehow remember it because I wrote it down, and it was, what character fell head over heels into the Theed power generator. And for some reason, the phrasing of it was so weird to me that I had no idea. And then the answer was Darth Maul. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Technically, he did not have heels when he fell.
Yeah, like, I could have argued it.
I totally would have challenged that just out of spite. Just out of spite, I would have challenged that.
Dude, there are so many questions in there that, like, if I got wrong, I would probably challenge my my competition. I legit would. I'd be like, I'm not budging on this. I will pull out
Challenge them to ritual combat.
I will pull out the visual dictionary right now.
Yeah.
I will pull out the real weapons.
Well, I'm such a shithead when we play those games. Where like I will demand that we pull up the scene to verify.
I'm almost the same
every
way.
time. Like I'm like, that's bullshit. Look it up right now.
That's not right. Wait, that's illegal.
We'll make it legal.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. So this is the thing I was going to tell all you guys in the pre-show. So I have Steam,
Yes.
and I finally have Knights of the Old Republic.
Cool.
Enjoy that. I could never get into that. I don't like
The turn-based combat turns me off so much.
I don't like the turn-based combat.
I hate it.
I love the
doesn't
story.
feel right.
I love the story. Like I'm familiar with like all of the twists and turns of KOTOR, but like it was never something I could get into as a game.
Yeah.
It's too much for my brain.
No, I
should
got
try
you. Yeah,
SOTOR,
I'm gonna try and play it, and then I'm also gonna try and get Uncharted because I've never played that and I need to.
It took 12 hours to install, but last night for the first time I bought a GTA game at 22 years of age.
Nice. I've
So,
never played
which one?
GTA,
5.
Ah, I see. The okay one.
so.
You haven't lived till you've played San Andreas at 4 a.m. with your best friend with cheat codes on.
No,
chugging a
dude,
code
the
red.
best game to play cheat codes on is Battlefront 2 2005.
Son, you gotta pick up a copy of San Andreas.
What kind of like were there like wacky cheat codes and shit?
Just like cars flying, but
Okay,
like
that's dope.
but like you don't realize it affects all cars, especially the ones you're not driving.
Oh, jeez.
Just like every weapon in the game turned on, hyper punches.
What?
It's just like it's funny because the game looks like such shit, especially now.
Yeah, especially, yeah.
And like the world is so big that like I don't know, man. San Andreas is just one of those games that I remember quite fondly.
Well, I remember with the Revenge of the Sith game
Dude, that was...
when I like
Oh,
once my family got internet, I was just a monster about looking up cheat codes. And we there was this cheat code called Super Saber. And I thought it was like with like the Force Unleashed, where like when they referred to a weapon as like super, like I think I think they called it Super Saber, or maybe it was just like extra damage saber, where basically with the exception of bosses, everybody was a one-hit kill.
yeah.
And that's what I thought it was going to be for Revenge of the Sith, because especially with the later levels, like so many of the enemies require so many hits. and like you're like deflecting blaster bolts pulls from your force meter just as much as using other actual force abilities. So my rationale
That's funny to think about.
So my rationale was like, okay, well, I can make the most of when I'm getting swarmed if I make everybody a one-hit kill. And in my mind, I'm like, that's not much of a cheat since it's a friggin' lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like, in universe, I should be cleaving people in half anyway. So I turn it on, and what Super Saber ended up doing was, like, making the lightsaber blade 20 feet long.
Saw that coming.
Oh my god.
but
Okay. Yeah, I'm
still-
not surprised either.
But
Holy-
still had the same hitbox. So, like,
Wow.
I couldn't...
That's even funnier.
So like I couldn't like just clear a hallway just by like spamming the heavy attack and like looking like Groot in that one scene in Guardians of the Galaxy where he
Oh
like
my
launches the tendrils through the hallway and just thrashes all the Kree soldiers. I couldn't do that. I was just stuck with this lightsaber that just made it harder to see.
Wow.
So I that was the day that I was like, I am thoroughly researching cheat codes for the rest of my life. I'm never just plugging one in and calling it a day.
Yeah, we I remember very fondly as a kid, my friend Zach and I would be up at like 3 a.m. playing GTA. And like okay, you get one weapon pack and you can get one extra cheat that isn't God mode, obviously. And now you just have to survive. Because eventually like the army comes after you.
Is that the case with 5 as well?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I actually played I never played the stories of a GTA game until 5.
I heard 5 has like a really good story, that it's like a nice crime drama, which I'm looking forward to.
It's okay. It's one of those like tries to be smart by telling you that it's smart.
Ah, so like Rick and Morty?
Kinda, but like worse than Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty in some cases is actually smart, and then its fan base goes, "Look at it! It's so smart! It's so smart, and I'm so smart." Whereas GTA in this case is a thing going, "I'm just so smart."
Oof.
See, that's how I feel watching Oh Hello. Like, I feel brilliant.
Watching
'Cause
what?
Oh
Watching
Hello.
what?
Oh Hello, like the Netflix special.
You cut out, so it was just watching O.
Watching O, just O. Because I'm such a dork for screenwriting, and like I love listening to screenwriters talk about like the anatomy of like writing a script, writing a screenplay.
Yeah.
And I like listening to comedy writers talk about like the anatomy of comedy. And that show is like it's a 2-man show inside of a play about writing a play, where there's like no fourth wall, and it's just batshit insanity for its entire like hour and a half runtime. But so much of it is based around like calling attention to how you write a script and certain tropes therein. And I just felt like, oh yes, like I've watched YouTube videos about people talking about screenwriting, you know, and I felt like a pretentious asshole watching it. Speaking of which, I reactivated my Audible account the other day because I'm going insane.
Aren't we
And
all?
I started listening to this book that I think some of you guys might enjoy, called
It's called Everybody Poops.
Everybody Poops, written by Travis Ralph Grossman.
Everybody lies. Everybody jacks off.
That's the sequel.
My memoir. That's my memoir.
Everybody poops, everybody lies, everybody jacks off. But it's called Save the Cat, and it's written by a screenwriter who has actually, you know, sold his scripts. And it's all about like the basics of screenwriting. And I just finished chapter 3 last night, and he was talking about how writing for genre is very... When you're writing in genre, you should not limit yourself to like the stereotypical genre titles of like your horror, fantasy, sci-fi, yada. Where he explains like his genre types are more premise based. Where he's like, okay, here's the first genre: monster in the house. and like runs through like what makes a monster in the house movie a monster in the house movie. Not all of them are horror movies. Most of them are. And like he talked about like the one category he named was the Golden Fleece. And he was like,
That sounds familiar.
yeah, he was like the Golden Fleece, and he's like the like Golden Fleece movies. That's your Star Wars. That's your Back to the Future. That's your Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Where like when he's explaining, like that is the movie where your character goes on a journey for one thing, but comes away with something else. And like breaking all this stuff down, and how he was basically saying, and this is the one that kind of like low key blew my mind, but made a lot of sense. Was that more often than not, buddy movies and romantic comedies are the same movie. It's just in one of them, your two protagonists have sex.
Yeah.
That's actually a good point.
And I had like gray matter oozing out of my ears when it occurred. I'm like, this is absolutely right. Like it's the same, like mechanically the stories operate the same, you know, where you have the, you know, oh, I can't stand you. Okay. You're kind of awesome. Woo, big adventure. We have a falling out. I hate you. I hate you. I never want to see you again.
Yeah.
We realize how much we need each other to complete the final, you know, to make the climax happen. We come together. We make it happen. I never want to spend any of my days without you. And he even talked about, he was like, you know, there's the superhero genre. And he said, when I say superhero, I'm not talking Avengers, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. He's like, those all fall under there. You know what else falls into there? A Beautiful Mind. And like RoboCop. And it was like talking about like, it's all about like the special guy who has to learn to live with the annoyingly average guy in an average world. It is so good. Like, we're obviously not sponsored by Audible yet. But totally go listen to this. It is so good. And like, it's a little cynical. Like, there are parts of it that like are kind of frustrating to hear. Cause the gentleman who wrote it, let me pull it up so I can see what his name is again, because I can't remember. There is like a little bit of that sense of Blake Snyder is the gentleman's name. Save the Cat by Blake Snyder. Where like there is like a little bit of, you know, that like in that inside baseball way of talking about anything, where if you know too much about a topic, like you're inherently cynical about it no matter how much you love it. So like there's parts of that like it doesn't make the movie magic feel as magical, but it's very interesting. I highly recommend it to anybody who like likes film. Like even if you're not an aspiring screenwriter and have no interest in that kind of thing, if you love movies, you will love this book. Because again, the day I was told that Back to the Future and Star Wars are essentially the same story, I shit my pants. And someone's being beaten to death in the background here.
Oof.
But yeah. So Travis, being an essential worker as you are.
I am indeed essential.
You are essential. What's going on in Wally World right now?
Apparently, when I go into work on Friday, they're going to take my temperature.
Oh.
Oh fuck.
So that's gonna
Okay.
be fun.
Any reason why? I mean, other than the.
To make sure I'm not coming in sick,
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
which I feel pretty all right now.
That's foreboding.
Yeah, apparently they also got us a bunch of new personal protection equipment if we so choose to wear it. I probably won't. For a number, like, I like the idea that we have it for people that want it, but like, I don't think, I feel like it's irresponsible of me to not wear it, but also I don't want to freak people out by wearing it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I would always err on the side of caution with that kind of thing. Like, if I'm given the opportunity to, I'm putting one of those on immediately. But also, there are some older people on your staff who might need it more.
Exactly.
So-
I mean, like, they're letting everybody call off and stay home without repercussion. You don't get paid, but
Oh, how noble of them.
yeah, right. God forbid. But they're letting people call off without getting fired. They're letting us come in basically as much as we want.
Gotcha.
Instead of like, I guess that's their alternative to actually paying us more.
Is it
But-
like a customizable schedule?
Basically,
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
That's foreboding. I hope you stay safe out there, buddy.
Same here, dude.
I mean, I'll be all right.
So
You're a little quiet.
what was that?
Travis is coming in a little quiet on my end.
I'll turn-
Is that the same for everyone else?
I
No,
can
he
hear him
sounds
just
fine to
fine. You should
All
be
right,
able
I'll
to
just turn him up then.
Okay, I was gonna say you'll be able to turn him up on Discord.
Yeah, my mic was a little farther away than it had been. I finally put it on a table instead of trying to like balance it on the beanbag I lay in.
Okay.
Oh, you lay in a wow. That's
I sleep in a beanbag.
That is, that's the life right
Of
there.
course.
Bachelor,
dude.
fuck.
Connor, you and Levi have not been on the Nerd Academy like main show in a hot minute. Travis and I have been talking about this.
Think
for the-
I ever been on?
No,
there.
you haven't, and I know
You-
Levi hasn't been on in a little while. Since you guys haven't had a chance to talk about it, really, what have you guys been watching, reading, listening to, enjoying to get yourselves through these trying times? Connor, I'll let you take this one up first, since I have a feeling yours is going to be pretty short for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Fallen Order and Battlefront 2.
Yeah, I feel.
And hopefully Uncharted.
Wow.
And, right.
wait, which one?
Shocker.
You heard it here first.
Which
How'd you do
one?
it?
Who would have thunk?
I trusted in the Force, my guy.
Connor, which Uncharted game?
All of them.
Oh, nice.
Like, no, because a friend of mine, he's going to, like, try to hijack his brother's PS4 and just send me the first, like, the Nathan Drake collection.
Yeah,
So then I get the first three, and then apparently the
four is
fourth
free this
one-
month. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, ooh, nice.
See, I got the Nathan Drake collection because I hadn't played them years ago.
Yeah.
And I played them. They're like 1 is okay, 2 is very good, 3 is okay.
I've heard I've heard from him and you that 1 is not that great, but I've heard that 2, 3, and 4 are all really good.
I own 4 but haven't played it. I bought it for like $2 at a resale store
Wow.
and then just never got around to playing it. I'm at that point in my life where I own a bunch of games that I buy on the cheap that I just never get around
Yeah,
to playing.
dude, I bought like Killzone Shadowfall for like $5. Cause like I was like, ooh, Killzone. I remember this. This was pretty, and I haven't opened it.
Yeah, that's I bought the Resident Evil 2 remake on like Black Friday
Nice.
and I haven't touched it. I bought the Nathan Drake, not the Nathan Drake collection. I played those, but 4 is still sitting like where my games are.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I'm also gonna probably try and get Modern Warfare 2 remastered someday. I'm
Well,
just
it's,
like,
It's only $20 on PlayStation apparently. So
oh really?
And 40 if you're playing on Xbox.
Get
But
got.
like the thing is, the one thing I wish they had is Spec Ops.
Yeah,
That would be
I-
the big draw for me.
I agree that they should have had it, but I didn't play Spec Ops that much as a kid.
I
because,
played
like,
Spec Ops religiously, especially with my friend. Like we would like there's like the one map suspension. We reference that almost all the time if we're like going down memory lane because we like screamed that map name almost all the time because just we had so many good memories with it. And then there was the one map where you're in the you're in Magaroff's safe house, and there would be like
state.
random juggernauts that just come out of nowhere, and so when that like juggernaut music came on, we would just start freaking out. And like I've gotten basically PTSD from that. So-
See, if they even if they were like it'll be an extra $60
Oh my
to
god.
get the multiplayer remastered, I would pay them $80. I would like
Fair.
I have too many good memories. Like that was the peak for me of Call of Duty multiplayer, and it was terrible. Like it's so bad, glitches galore. Because this is like Modern Warfare 2 was out when like Activision was going through all of its someone's blowing up.
Yeah, Connor dipped out.
Oh. Connor, no. But yeah, because like that was when Infinity Ward, everyone left, and they were having all of those lawsuits and stuff. So nothing ever got patched.
Naturally.
It was great. Those were the Wild West days.
See, before Connor bounced, he was talking about like with the new Call of Duty, the whole Warzone mode. I really wish I was better at shooters so I could actually play battle royale games.
I've tried a few. So I tried Fortnite when it came out. I didn't like it. I tried because I got Black Ops 4, and I tried Blackout. I didn't like it. I haven't tried Warzone yet because I know I won't like it.
I see with Fortnite, like there's just it's so you have to switch between like the actual combat mechanics and the building mechanics like so quickly to be adequate at it. And I'm just like, okay, either I will hunker down or I will take the fight to the other players. I can't do both at the same time like other people who play it can. Again, like that's why like fighting games are my happy place. Because like all I have to do is beating the absolute piss out of the other person.
Yeah. I heard that and agree with everything you say.
Levi, what have you been watching, reading, playing to get through this time?
I have been watching Yakko memes.
And nothing else. Just Yakko memes.
There's a YouTuber called Supreme Leader, and he gives us an up-to-date, like every other day, an up-to-date on the confirmed cases of coronavirus in each nation. Yeah, and we're approaching 1 million.
Yep.
Yeah, that's disappointing and depressing.
I think we crossed the 5,000 threshold in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, that's one of the scary things about watching the stats right now is that like it feels like everything's
number one.
Yeah. Well, because it feels like everything's ballooning, and like a lot of that has to do with the fact that like the testing is improved. So like it's going to seem like for whatever reason the floodgates have opened when it's just we just know more now. But it's still just as terrifying. Like it doesn't matter the why. All that matters is, it's here. And is ripping shit apart left and right. And it doesn't matter for what reason it seems like there's more. Cause it certainly feels like it. But yeah, is that all, Levi? That surprises me. The anime guy here is not.
No, that's not it.
Okay, good.
Let's see. I have been playing League of Legends with my brother and some others. The new rework for Fiddlesticks just dropped today with patch 10.7. So I'm going to have to try that out. Fiddlesticks used to be a derpy scarecrow. And that's pretty much what anyone knew about him. But now he's like actually scary. So I miss the stupid idiot, but now we have a scary thing. So gonna have to check him out. That's really cool. What else? I've been watching this terribly mediocre rom-com anime. And I don't even know its name because the definitely legal site that I use doesn't even have like the English translation. And
is it Tiffy.com? Is it Tiffy?
Yes, and I'm not even going to attempt saying it. So we'll see where it takes us. Probably nowhere is all rom-com anime do. Not all. There are a few ones that have a pair of balls and decides, you know what, we are going to make a romance out of this instead of just a generic harem. What's up?
Like, how new is it?
It's not new. It's like 2014 or something. I stumbled upon it and I thought to myself, I think I watched 2 episodes of this and then never watched it again. Let's see if I can watch all of it. And then I watched 2 and never watched more again.
What? What's the Japanese name? If you can.
Don't do that.
Well,
to
give me a sec. I'll try to pull up the moon speak.
I'm just trying to figure out what it is.
All right, it's on my piece of crap laptop because I don't want viruses on this good one. Aside from that, I've been trying to keep up to date on One Piece. You might have heard me talk about that.
Where is One Piece available? Because once I'm done with Death Note, I'm probably
I think it's on
Funimation.
Crunchyroll and Funimation.
Yeah, if you want it dubbed, you have to go to Funimation.
Is there an app?
If you
for,
want
like,
it dubbed
on
and free,
consoles?
you can go to Tiffy, but I don't recommend it.
Is there a Xbox app for Funimation?
Yes.
Do you know?
I have it, and I have an account.
Excellent. I'll probably download that and might hijack your account, Travis.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
just pronounce this name.
Just send it to me. Send it to me in chat.
Hoshizora e Kakeru Hashi is its name.
Send me if possible, send me the cover art in chat. I'm just curious what it is.
Okay.
I love that. Just send me the cover art in chat.
Oh, here it is. A Bridge to the Starry Skies.
Okay, it isn't anything I've heard of.
Not anything you've heard of.
Nope.
I don't blame you. It's actually from 2011.
I need to know if I need to be insulted or not.
It's not good. It's just terribly plain. So I've been watching that. Been trying to catch up on One Piece, the One Piece manga. Jared should watch that because he has nothing better to do. He should also play the game I lent him half a decade ago.
It wasn't
Since
that
he
long
has
ago.
nothing better to do.
It wasn't that long
You know.
ago.
Since he told the world on Twitter.
Several times.
Listen, here's my thing. I'm weird about I have to be in the right mindset to take up a new thing. And I hate it. It's I'm weird about I said this on TNAP earlier this week. It was I feel weird playing video games during the day.
During the what?
During the daytime.
During
If
the
the
day.
sun is out
Okay.
and I'm powering up my console to play a video game, I feel dirty. I don't know why.
I feel dirty.
There's just something strange about and that's the thing is whenever I know I'm going to watch something new or play something new that I'm not incredibly familiar with, I feel I need an exorbitant amount of okay, I'm going to do this thing. And if I don't have it, I feel I'm half-assing it and I can't fully appreciate it. That's why with that show on Netflix, I watched the first 3 episodes and then just stopped watching. And was I don't feel I can, I don't feel mentally charged enough to truly consume this in the way it's meant to be. And then picked it back up once I realized I had a whole lot of free time. So when I'm I tried to with Assassin's Creed Origins, that's exactly what happened. Where I was okay, I'm going to take a stab at playing this Assassin's Creed game, which everybody said is one of the most bold mechanically Assassin's Creed games and see how I like it. And I started it and I was this.
They never said it was good, just bold. I'll point out.
Bold and brash.
Bold and bad.
I didn't hear that Origins was bad.
I heard it was not great. Of course, I've been hearing that they're not great since always.
Assassin's Creed. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's an Assassin's Creed game, so there's an inherent level of dog
fine
shit.
wine. I still love them up through Brotherhood, and by that I mean just 2 in Brotherhood. And 4 is good. I'll admit Black Flag is fun in and of itself.
But I said before, I got 3 hours into Origins and I was I don't have the capacity to play this whole game right now. I just don't have it in me. And that's why I'm okay. That's one of the reasons why I'm happy about GTA is that game feels it's pretty easy to put down and pick back up as you go.
Yeah.
Or at least I get the vibe of that because I know that's how a lot of my friends play it. So I'm I'm going into that knowing that this is a game that will be good for my mindset at the moment where I don't have to hunker down and like you are going to play this game, and it's like at any moment I can just okay, I'm done now. So like that's the reason why I haven't played Dishonored is what I think you loaned me.
Yeah.
And that I just have this mindset of like, oh man, I really want to play this game, but I know how much brain power it's going to require of me. And I hate that. Like, I hate how spent I feel because I'm not doing much. Like, I'll clean the house a little bit, like just do like every day, just like tidiness chores. And then I'm like, I have nothing to do now. And I have the capacity to do nothing else. And I hate it. I hate the lethargy that is being brought out during this time. But, I do want to play it, though. And I feel so bad every time you're over because I see you just, like, glare at the game case sitting on the shelf. Like, I see you just shoot darts at it like it's fucking Kill Bill. I can hear this.
It's
like
still
the
there. Same place I saw last time.
No, just to be a dick the next time you're over, I'm going to put it in a different place.
I'll put it in
the
the
console.
disc tray. Yeah.
I thought it was either going to be disc tray or up my ass. But
also, yes, One Piece would be a fantastic use of your time.
Yeah, this is literally the best time to pick up a long-running show.
Yeah, for sure.
Like One Piece or Naruto or
Haikyuu.
Bleach, which is coming back. In case none of you have heard,
Wait,
I did see that.
2021, Bleach is coming back for the 1,000-Year War arc. Mwah.
We really are in the worst timeline.
You watch your mouth.
That's wait, when did you see that? Oh, 2021.
Uh-huh.
That's going to be the start of next year. It's just like, and now Bleach is back and the world is still on fire.
However, the coronavirus has eaten our brains to the point where we're all going to agree it's good.
Oh no! Please, anything but that.
Bleach.
All right, so Travis, I have to ask you, and I'm
Yes.
going to use this as an opportunity to convince Levi to do the same thing I convinced you to do.
I'm not watching the Tiger King.
You don't have to.
You should,
Okay.
though. It's magnificent.
I gave it one episode. I will admit at some point I'm going to have to like watch it just to. But I really hate the one guy. Like I just don't like him.
Doc Antle.
Yeah, Doc Antle. There's something about him that I'm like, you just have. I love how the documentary is making, in that almost mockumentary way of making fun of the fact that he's trying to direct it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like he'll be trying to direct it, and they leave that part in to show that he's just such an asshole.
Mm.
I'm assuming you're referring to the one that you sent me the picture of, because that's Doc Antle. Or are you talking about Joe Exotic himself?
No, I'm talking about Doc Antle.
Okay.
Joe Exotic is like a whole different beast.
It only gets worse as the show goes on. And like that's the craziest thing about it is like trying to watch it, it feels like more and more of a fever dream. Like
Exactly. Like I couldn't get the concept of this has to be fake. And I know it's not because I realized that I had seen Doc Antle before.
yeah,
'Cause
they've all
he's
been on late night shows and
Letterman
shit.
and Leno and stuff. So I knew who he was without realizing it. So like it's real. I just don't want it to be.
Which is completely fair. Like Levi, the way I would explain to you what Tiger King is, and I got this description in my head earlier today, and I was like, this is how I'm going to pitch this to people from now on.
Okay.
It's like a hillbilly anime.
You know?
Trailer Park Boys.
Not like Trailer Park Boys hillbillies, like
If Trailer Park Boys is the shonen of hillbilly anime,
Whoa.
Tiger King is like the short 13 episode season. It's the
Okay.
Megalobox. It's the Megalobox.
Uh-huh.
Like, and the funny
You
thing
lost
is, like, the only
You haven't watched Megalobox?
I've never watched it in its entirety. No,
Bro, watch it. It's so good. I actually need to
I
finish
caught all the hype. Like, oh, is this our generation's Cowboy Bebop? The answer's
it. The answer is no, but it's still very good.
yeah. I should watch it.
so
That does not mean I should watch Tiger King. By the way, Jerry.
I agree with you. You should.
you should because like imagine like, the
yeah, you
Florida
should
man.
also play Dishonored, but that didn't stop you from not doing that.
Okay.
Did it?
I will. Okay, no. This is what I'm gonna say.
Damn.
I'm gonna make the.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make the deal with. Make a deal with you that I made with Travis,
Oh yeah, that's true. We did make a deal for me to watch it.
and like I'm selling people's soul to Joe Exotic this week. That's all that's happening. I will play Dishonored in its. I will beat the campaign in
Okay.
like in as timely a manner as humanly possible, and send you updates as I go.
Mhm.
If you watch all 7 episodes of Tiger King, it is only 7
Oh my
episodes,
goodness. What kind of episodes?
40-ish
Like hour.
minutes.
Like 40 to an hour.
Of course.
Okay. That's
I mean, you are getting the good end of the deal on time there.
Dishonored's a pretty short game.
Depends on how you play it.
That's true. Yeah.
Speaking of things that we sold each other soul for, Jared, how'd you like X?
Oh, it was so good.
It's just the best stand-up special I've ever seen.
It is really good. I
can understand you not agreeing with what I just said, but like for me, it just hits so hard.
Oh no, I totally get that. I don't take away from that being the best one you've ever seen. I totally get why you would say that. It's one of the best I've ever seen. The only thing that like took away from my enjoyment of it, which is really disappointing, is the fact that like the HBO Go app is a total piece of dog shit.
Yeah, that's fair. When I watched it, because the way I did it, I got my HBO free trial in Amazon Prime,
Oh,
which the Prime player's fine. Like it works well enough. So that's how I watched it through Prime. And that made it so, because that was like, I went to download it, the HBO apps to like get a free trial, and every single one of them has like 1 star on Google Play and is like, this app is dog shit and will break.
yeah. That's exactly what happened with me. We're like, and I have the app directly. Like I just have the HBO Go app on my Xbox, and like every 5 to 10 minutes, it would just start buffering unapologetically, and like eventually, the worst would be it would buffer for so long that it like the special would start playing, and then I would get like the error. Please come back to this title later. And I would hit OK, thinking it was going to just let me go back to watching it, and then it would spit me back out to the main menu. So
That's awful.
it took me 2 hours to watch an hour and a half of stand-up, which was not pleasant. I also had to pause it a couple times because I was on the phone with somebody intermittently, and I didn't want to miss any of the special. But like, I was so good. It was so good.
I can't wait to see however I see it. I would love to see it live if possible. When he comes through the U.S. with Hubris,
Yeah, me too.
because apparently it's about how he's a sociopath.
He really wears that brand of comedy better than anybody. Like,
Yeah, because again, like he's super progressive in his like actual opinions, and he's unapologetic about that in the same way that he's unapologetic about any other opinion.
yeah,
And like he prefaces with the fact that like, if I say something that I just shouldn't say, I will fix it gladly, but
yeah.
otherwise go to hell.
Well, that and like he uses the humor that like a lot of doomers use, but like he uses it effectively, and it's not just like the human beings suck. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette and die in a hole now, type thing. We're like he's legitimately hilarious. And like, especially his like, I love how self introspective he gets, and the like, I'm a flawed person style of humor. Like the Nigel bit floored me.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
killed me.
Sure, it's progressive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that. You know, like I died because I was
Mr. Sloss!
yeah.
Oh man, I was dying.
I don't know about you, but my mental image for Nigel, like aside from the fact that he described him as having a monocle, I immediately took him to like being like an old timey like barber.
Yeah.
So like he had like the burgundy vest and like the bands
barber
on his
hat.
arms.
There was the.
I didn't have a hat.
stripe-
I didn't have a hat. I did have like a very bushy mustache.
Yeah.
And like the bands on his arms and like the really nice slacks and a pocket watch in the pockets of his vest. Hey, that was my image of Nigel. But yeah, totally watch X. It is all of Daniel Sloss's material. It's really good.
I'm also watching someone else
Yeah.
on YouTube. Scott the Woz. Oh, I love that man.
Oh, I've heard that name before. What's he do?
He's a total nerd who covers video game stuff. I like his style. I'm not sure everyone would, but yeah, I like it. It's informational, and then funny if you like that kind of humor. He's kind of like the replacement for like JonTron when he falls off the planet every
He
year.
hasn't yet. Yeah. Oh yeah. Every year. Okay.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
consistent. Good quality.
I like that. I'll have to look into him. I know I've heard that name before too. I feel like I've seen a video or two of his.
And let's see, if you like fighting games, you should invest in the My Hero Academia fighting game, since you like that franchise.
I've heard good things about it.
One's Justice.
One's just I
It has
couldn't
a
remember the
sequel
name
now.
Two's Justice.
Yes.
But no, I saw somebody because there is like a loose character customization mode in that. I understand.
I didn't know that.
All I saw was that somebody realized that they had the necessary materials to customize their All Might into being Y'all Might.
The what?
Y'all Might, like the country All Might with like the cowboy hat and shit.
Yeah.
I saw that on TikTok and I was like, okay, I don't know what game this is, but if I can play as Y'all Might, I'm playing.
Y'all might.
The Old Town Road Smash, but yeah, no, Levi, your reaction to like incredibly stupid and insane people is the reason why I want you to watch Tiger King. Like, I could only
Those reactions means I'm losing faith in people.
well. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for you. I want to slowly make it so that there can be an episode of Campus Life that is just us reviewing Tiger King.
I'd love for that to not be the case.
I would love
Same.
for it to be the
I'm with
case.
Travis.
Because I want to talk about
Same here.
this
I
show.
mean, I've heard about that show.
It's only 7 episodes. It's only 7 episodes.
I know, I get that, but like I'm kind of genuinely disinterested, but at the same time kind of intrigued around it, but at the same time the hype around it might be coloring my intrigue.
The first episode does a good job of hooking you in. Like, you'll either be hooked into the point that you need to watch more, or if you can set it down, like, you can effectively not watch it. Like, I would probably be comfortable not watching the rest of it, but I have a promise to keep.
Dude, I literally dude, I'm so bad when it comes to trying to watch TV shows sometimes. Like, the exception being Star Wars, naturally. But,
See, I've got to watch stuff like in one shot, right? Like with the CW shows. I used to cover CW shows every week on Hall of Heroes. The only thing I've watched since the like mid-season finale of all of them was Arrow because it ended. Everything else I haven't kept.
like, I'm trying to rewatch Kim Possible.
Kim
And-
Possible.
Like,
That's a good show.
it is
Excellent show.
one of the best shows that's ever created. That's a fact. Anyone that tries to tell you otherwise is just straight up wrong.
What's her name? Shiva or Shivo?
Shigo.
Shigo. That's what it is. She
My
goes
first
on.
ever
Waifu.
yeah, pretty
For
much.
lack of a better word.
Her and yeah. That's
Can
Wait, what were you saying, Travis?
I break your heart?
Sure.
I've never watched Kim Possible.
Oh God.
Now's a good time to. Let
Do
me
you
tell.
have Disney Plus?
I do, and so I could probably watch it.
Yeah, you could
Yeah, you
definitely
can.
watch it.
I also told Alexis last night that I'd finally watch Avatar.
The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
Or the Blue People movie.
Holy crap!
no, I've watched the Blue People movie. So like, I think I've told the story on air before, but not on TNAP or any adjacent. The first episode of Avatar I watched was the one that everyone that I've come into contact has specifically told me to skip, which is the one where they go through the canyon.
Yeah, where
Dude.
Aang lies and it's not in his character. Yeah.
Wait.
It's in season 1. I think it's like episode 5 or 6. I know because I own the series and I have started it.
Is it the one where they're going to Ba Sing Se, or is that something completely different?
Wait,
They ha-
season 5 or 6?
No,
He said
episode 5 or
episode
6.
five.
Yeah,
or six.
okay. Yeah, it's definitely in the first book.
Yeah, they're leading the two tribes that hate each other, and
I'll have to rewatch it.
It's the worst episode. That's why you don't remember it.
That's why that's what everyone says.
So I watched that
Aang
as a
has
kid.
lied.
As a kid,
before.
I was like, "This is bad," and I won't watch it. I'll go back to real anime.
Oh my gosh!
And then I caught because I never watched Nickelodeon as a kid until I was like 10 or 11.
Okay,
I was exclusively a Cartoon Network boy through and through.
nice. I
And
was
then
a
I
mix.
caught-
I was a mix and match.
Yeah, I was at the hodgepodge there too. Yeah.
I love that Ed Nettie
I
too
didn't
much.
get
And
cable.
Looney Tunes was on Cartoon Network.
Levi, I love you.
PBS Kids, boys.
And
My
that's why
childhood was
Levi's.
brought to you in part by.
Like you.
Oh my god.
That was beautiful.
But
Yeah,
so
this
then
is why
I was-
Levi
I was
is like infinitely one of the smarter among us, because he's just watching Cyber Chase while we're watching like
Oh my god.
we're watching kids who like might be in purgatory rip each other off for jawbreakers, and like a special agent in a rogue special agent in a crop top beat the shit out of a blue man.
But yeah, so then I was scrolling and I caught the literal finale of the show.
Oh,
So
geez.
Okay.
So I had seen those 2 episodes and watching the fight and like this war ending. I was like, this show's really cool. I want I've come around. The show's pretty neat. I want to watch more of this. And that was the series finale. Son of a.
Yeah,
And this is-
watch Avatar, dude.
I need to rewatch it too.
So yeah, so I own it on DVD. Like I bought it to watch it.
Like, dude,
a
I'll
year
never
I own
forget
it.
the one episode that I got super hyped for was when my man Sokka got the meteorite sword.
Hell yeah, that's an
Dude,
awesome
I was-
episode.
I was like, my man's is done taking everybody's crap.
Yeah,
Let's go.
that's
Oh.
when he kind of like evolves.
Oh
You know?
god. And then like this is before I knew like character development was like a thing. So like I'm gonna rewatch it now and just be like, oh, this makes sense for his character because yada 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 yada. Like
Ah,
go on some
Yeah, I think-
analytical rant.
I think that's why everyone loves it, is because as kids, that was the first show that made them realize, like, oh, you can like develop characters.
yeah,
Cool.
you can do this thing called an arc. Holy crap.
this is my vouch for it. I believe it is the best cartoon that's ever come out of the West.
You know what?
I can get behind that.
I can get behind that too.
I haven't watched it, and I've watched like a very small part of it. I can get behind that.
It's awesome. The characters that needed development or progression, rather, got progression. All the
Yeah.
main characters and main supporting cast, they got development.
See, as a kid, I was
like
I'm sorry.
good stuff.
Oh, amazing.
I was in and out of Avatar, but I loved every second of it.
Hmm.
Levi, have you ever played the video game?
No. That's a no.
Fair.
I didn't know there was a video game.
There
I
was,
should have figured there was.
I think there was like a PS2 video game, and
Mm.
like it wasn't
As
too
there was
bad.
for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's be real here, dude. I found out there was a friggin' video game for Coraline or whatever, and I'm like, why?
Oh yeah, dude. Movie like Coraline came out in the time where like movie title games were the hot button thing.
Oh yeah, Revenge of the Sith.
Wonder if Cyber Chase has a video game.
Probably. You know what my favorite movie tie-in game of all time
Chase,
is?
we're moving. No.
The Mike Myers Cat in the Hat game.
Oh crap.
That exists.
Okay, but have you played the Scooby Doo Cyber Chase game for PS1?
I've seen gameplay of it.
It's incredible.
Mm.
I played that shit forever as a kid.
I always like occasionally forget, Travis, that you have like a very deep love for Scooby-Doo.
I have that on.
Zoinks!
Yeah, I have that on VHS actually.
I have it on. I don't have it on VHS. I have it on DVD.
I have that on VHS, and I have Who's Your Mommy on DVD,
Oh,
where it's like it was
Levi.
Velma the whole time, and I'm like, now that doesn't make sense. But
This is
Oh,
wrong.
Levi, you'll appreciate this.
Hashtag not
no,
my
okay.
Velma.
I was. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That
I
was Jake
rewatching,
Velma Walker.
The one episode from Kim Possible where Shigo is good.
oh, breaks my heart.
Dude, I know, because like,
And then her siblings are bad.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
give a shit about the siblings, to be quite honest. I just
Me
don't.
either, but it's a part of her development.
But like, yeah, but like the fact, like, I'm just like, dude, give me Miss Go. I want to see that. That would be
Yeah,
dope
right?
to see. But like the one scene where it's where Ron's at Bueno Nacho and he's about to go sit with Kim, but he doesn't realize that Shigo's there, and they're like sitting together. And I scroll down to the YouTube comments, and dude,
Yeah,
it
like,
is-
oh, she goes gay. Yeah.
yeah, they're like lesbians, and I'm like, okay, I'm not surprised. And then there's people that are, wow, I didn't know I was a lesbian until watching this show. Even then, I wasn't aware.
I
And
know
I'm like,
exactly what
yeah,
you're talking
fair.
about. Because you know why? I watched that YouTube video.
See,
Yeah, fair point there.
as a kid, I developed a crush for both Shigo and Kim Possible, and
For me, it was dude. Shigo
Like-
all the way.
like simultaneously, and I was like, "What is my taste in women?" Because I like both of you a lot.
Strong.
Your
Yeah,
taste in women is women.
yeah.
You know what I didn't
love a
realize-
woman
you know what
who can
I
kick your
never
ass.
realized.
You're
love
right.
a
I
woman
do.
who's
That's
a
exactly what I want.
No, dude, Jared, I'm the same way.
BBIC,
You
bad
know what
bitch
I
in
didn't
charge.
realize until like a few years ago that Azula's like a freaking teenager,
Yeah.
and like that just weirded me out because I thought she was like much older. Because
Yeah,
she just
no.
acts more mature than she is.
She is older than Zuko, right?
I
They're not
don't-
twins, are they?
Pretty sure they are, but I could be. I just
yeah, you might be right.
I just always assumed they were.
Are we back on Avatar?
Yes,
We are.
Okay,
Pretty much, this might just turn into. a
they're
waifu
either
conversation.
twins or like they're a year apart, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay. Yeah, they're
This
not.
might just this
they're not
might
far
just turn into a waifu conversation.
Waifu conversation.
Let's be
Jesus.
real here.
Oh, okay. We can do that, but first I have to say, Screw Attack, Death Battle. They had one Toph versus Gara. Gara got nerfed. He should have won that.
Every single death battle is wrong and bad.
Oh,
I
actually, no,
wouldn't say that
here's
all of them
actually-
are wrong. I wouldn't say that all of them
They're
are
all
wrong.
wrong.
There are some that I like very much stand by, that I think that they hit the nail on the head for.
I just
Um,
don't. I don't know. It's so formulaic, and also they always like. Even when I agree with who should have won, they always screw over the guy that lost. Like every time.
That's
They're
fair.
like, oh, well, this one power doesn't matter even though it does. Or like, we forgot about this one power. Or we don't understand how this one power
Yeah.
works.
That's what they did in Toph versus Gara. They kept going on and on after the battle. How like Gara's sand infused with chakra, maybe probably also influenced by the soul of his mother. But at the end of the day, sand is still sand. Like, that's not how it works. Toph does not bend moms.
Toph does not bend moms.
A mother bender. No, that's my whole point, though, is that, like, even, especially at the end, they, like, double down hard on the fact that they are, completely incorrect, and that's why it bugs me so much.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, even, like, the big one, the Goku versus Superman video, is the only one where I've ever been like, I can understand their point, and I actually agree with them. But also,
even
like,
in that one, some of the things in the animated fight just don't sit well with me.
yeah, that's
Like,
yeah.
you're supposed, it's a death battle, and they say you're supposed to remove certain characteristics from the people to allow it to become a death battle. But then they include the bit with the kryptonite. And then
Yeah.
Goku's like, no, I ain't using the kryptonite. It's a death battle. If you're not going to have him use the kryptonite, don't put that in there.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I think Death Battle suffers from, and I watch a lot of, or at least I used to, and a lot of the people who do it don't do it as often as they did back in the day. But like I watch a lot of versus stuff, Star Wars versus especially, and a lot of the time they would just they would not try to make the battle into a narrative, which like that's where you get into those issues of like, well, why are you including this kryptonite bit if the objective is for Goku to not be holding back? You know, like Batman is a brutal fucking murderer in the Death Battle stuff.
Hmm.
Like he hanged Captain America with his grappling hook and a batarang.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the guy who's not supposed to kill people.
Yeah, it has some of the most brutal kills in Death Battle. And
Yep.
like Spider-Man kicked Batman in half during the Spider-Man versus Batman Death Battle, or like Antoine Bandelet, who's one of my favorite Star Wars versus people. Him and another guy, Ready 4, they would like to do like the more narrative stuff for their battles, but like they never included like a random instance of, and then this miraculously happened that is not going to change the nature of the fight, but we're putting it in here for show, and like muddle it down. Like they were just they're both very good writers and orators, so they were just very good at like driving home how entertaining to watch a lightsaber duel is. And like, and then the one that I know they did, I think it was Plo Koon versus Shakti. Like they were just really good at like verbally talking about how graceful Shakti is as a duelist. And like I like that, but stuff exactly like you said, Levi, like the kryptonite bit in that fight, or you know, I think that's one of the reasons. I think the one that I hate the most with Death Battle is Thanos versus Darkseid, because those are one
I
of
don't
those
think I ever watched
matchups.
that one.
Well, it's one because Darkseid's gonna win. Because like the only way Thanos can beat Darkseid is if you're gonna give him the Infinity Gauntlet and put him in his own universe. And that was one of the things that they did, was they like had half of the fight happen in the Marvel Universe with his gauntlet on.
You're cutting out,
You
Jared.
keep cutting
I'm
out
sorry.
big time.
I'm sorry. You hear me now? Am I better?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the things that they did was they had him using the gauntlet, if memory serves, in the Marvel Universe, and he was beating the piss out of Darkseid. But if you're going to let him use the gauntlet that early in the fight, and we're not going to like have there be any ceremony to this, and Thanos isn't going to just immediately go for the kill, he could have done any number of things to immediately murder Darkseid. But then they moved the fight to like in between dimensions where the gauntlet doesn't work, because the Infinity Stones only control the reality of which they're from. So he couldn't use the gauntlet, and then it just turned into Darkseid just massacring Thanos. Like why? Like the fight just should have begun and ended with, I'm going to try to use the gauntlet to destroy you, and you're going to hit me with the anti-life equation.
So like every single death battle boils down to they meet for whatever reason, and then whoever uses their first like special ability first will lose
Yep.
every time.
Yeah.
Because they each have a list of like 4 to 5. They will showcase all of them. and whoever goes first has to lose because they'll use their last one before the other person.
Yeah.
And the other person can't possibly lose to it because they have to show all of them.
Yeah.
And it's just such a flawed, like, I get that I am critiquing this dumb internet show about fictional characters that we'll never meet, that aren't real, but also I hate them.
I
They
enjoyed
had
Death
Majin
Battle.
Buu
Yeah.
lose to Kirby too, right?
That, dude, I
Oh,
threw something.
Levi,
at that
I remember
one. I
you
was so-
rioting in high school about that. I remember you being so angry.
That was the point where I was like, this is what, I'm done. I think after that they got me back in because they did a rematch of Goku and Superman with the same conclusion, which again, I agree with them on that one.
Well, what did they add for that? Like, because it was,
Super Saiyan God.
Yeah, it was Super Saiyan
scratched
God.
4.
and then like Superman had some weird, basically Kryptonian Super Saiyan at the time.
And he his solar flare.
The Solar Flare, yes, thank you.
So what he like goes nuclear and then loses his powers for a little bit. I think he even like I don't remember if this is in the original flies into the sun to recharge.
At one point, they do fly into space, and then Superman, like, kind of like in the Reign of the Superman thing, where like he's like, okay, now like I'm plugged in and have unlimited energy. Now you're done.
Yeah, which again, that's like my anytime someone's like so and so could beat Superman, I'm like, okay, first it depends on how they're writing the kryptonite, and then he flies into the sun, assuming he's not like actually Clark Kent and is going to try to mediate. You know, this is the reason why I've come around on the Dark Knight Returns fight, because actual Clark Kent would never just snipe someone with heat vision.
Yeah.
You know, but like if you wanted to win, he flies into the sun, hypercharges. He might not even have to leave the sun, but he flies back and just hyper snipes someone from way too far away, and the fight's over. Like there's no fight.
Oh yeah, and like I said, like good versus, in my opinion, and like Antoine Bandelet and all the people he collaborates with, like I very much disagree with some of their opinions on Star Wars, but they're very good at just like looking at a character's skill set and doing the who would win in a fight stuff. Antoine Bandelet, back when he was like religiously doing his versus content, he would do it in like seasons. So it would be like Star Wars video, Avatar The Last Airbender video, Harry Potter video, maybe an extra Star Wars one because those ones were more popular. And then he would do a crossover one. And sometimes it was between the franchises he covered. Like one time he did Korra versus Ahsoka.
Oh,
which was interesting. But my favorite crossover one he did was Darth Vader versus Voldemort.
Versus Voldemort?
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
And like
I'd give Vader that.
And Vader did win, and I love the way
Force choke.
Yeah. And like then
Force choke, lightsaber throw, crazy money.
And that was the thing, was that like, and like normally he used like the book versions of all the Harry Potter characters because he didn't like the way the magic was basically turned into like flashy gunfights in the movies.
Yeah, that's another thing I've been watching lately is a bunch of like Harry Potter content, which is weird because I haven't in a long time.
Dude, you got to watch some of Antoine's versus videos then. They're so good. I'll send you his Harry Potter playlist.
Yeah.
But like
I don't, that's not the stuff I've been like getting into, and I don't like the combat stuff of Harry Potter very much. Like I do, but it gets so boring because it's just the same two spells, you know?
Yeah, well, and that's one of the fun things is that, like, with the characters he uses for that, and with Star Wars as well, it's very much like, okay, these are the abilities they're known to use. So, like, it would be silly if you were like, okay, like, I think at one point he did Hermione versus Ron. Like, it would be...
What did he do?
Hermione versus Ron. He did Hermione versus one of the other characters in that trio. But, like, and he didn't say this directly, but, like, the way he analyzes them as combatants, he's aware of the fact, like, it would not make sense if we're just going to, like not do the opposite of Death Battle. We're like, okay, this is how this character operates in combat. So, like, if he ever used Batman, he would never have Batman fighting to kill. Where like
Right.
like with Hermione, he's never going to say, and then Hermione wins because she casts Avada Kedavra
Yeah, I'm guessing he operates within the confines
of character. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like like if he uses Obi-Wan Kenobi in a versus video, he's going to be like, yeah, and then Obi-Wan Kenobi lifts this guy up with the Force, crushes his heart, and yeets him across the battlefield.
As he should.
Yeah, which would be the logical thing to do, but Jedi. But with the Vader versus Voldemort thing, which was one of the reasons why I like his style of content and the people he works with style of content more than the death battle stuff, is because he's not constrained to, okay, and now we have to have this like little video game movie at the end where, like you said, Travis, like we have to showcase all the abilities now. We're like, every time he came back to, the fight would be crazy, and basically said, if Vader didn't realize that the Killing Curse was a one-hit KO and just thought he could tank it like a blaster bolt glancing off of his armor, Voldemort wins.
I think it depends on. Okay, now we're going to get into this a little bit.
Okay.
Oh boy.
If the Killing Curse hits his like robotic bits, would it kill him?
No.
I would say yes, because if it hits you, period, you're done.
But like if it hits his robotic arm, it hasn't touched anything organic.
Yeah.
I think since once it makes contact, it just absorbs you entirely. I would think yes. Like, and obviously none of his limbs are organic anymore, but I'm pretty sure like the Killing Curse just envelops whoever it hits.
Sounds like we need to do some scientific testing. Someone cut off their arm, get a robotic arm, then someone needs to learn magic.
This sounds like debating the rules of freeze tag on a playground during
This
recess.
is exactly what's
No, you touched my jacket. You didn't touch me.
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly the concept I would go with. Because it's not organic and because it's a robotic arm, it would do absolutely nothing. Vader would shrug it off and be like, all right, boom, saber throw. I'm Googling Avada Kedavra.
However, at the same time,
Well, but that's the
if
thing.
it first comes into contact with clothing, well, clothing's not a part of my body.
Yeah.
So wait a minute.
So,
Okay, so I
Avada
can.
Kedavra should be a really stupid spell.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
looking up
Levi,
Avada Kedavra right now.
I've got Levi on that one, but here's the real question: what happens if you Avada Kedavra a tree?
Tree's already dead. I'm just kidding.
But like,
No. Now I'm actually curious. Like beyond this whole discussion, what happens if you use the Killing Curse on a tree?
Probably disintegrates.
yeah, I would say like it just starts to shrivel up and like.
J.K. Rowling.
We should just
What
add it right
happens?
now.
These are the actual
You don't have
continuity questions we have, not.
You don't have to give the tree a gender. Just tell me what happens
You don't have to get
What is its
aggressive.
sexual orientation?
of the tree.
Also, how did the tree shit before plumbing existed?
Is that? Are we talking about the tree in the courtyard?
I don't
And
think the
for which
Whomping
movie?
Willow counts though, because the Whomping Willow's sentient. So like then you get into a whole other debate with that.
Okay, yeah.
Guys,
Does it
what
have
if
to
I
be
choose-
sentient and alive?
What if I tweet J.K. Rowling right now?
I'd appreciate it if you did, and we will all
Dude,
retweet it.
seriously.
And what
that,
counts
like-
as sentient?
Well, the Whomping
Yeah.
Willow knows when it's under attack and is inherently aggressive anyway. Like
Oh,
even
wait,
if it's
should I-
not in danger, it attacks people.
I need
Just-
to take the TNAP Twitter off my phone.
Dude, just ask her like the tree question and then what happens if the
Oh, I'm not giving her anything near Star Wars. I don't trust that woman.
No,
one
not
bit.
even that. Just say just don't even go with Star Wars. Just say like a robotic arm, whatever.
See, now, here's the funny thing. Here's the debate that I got into with another Harry Potter fan friend of mine who I want to hear what you guys think of this now. They were annoyed by the idea that, in theory, a lightsaber could deflect a spell.
That's one I've seen a lot of
Ah.
people talk about.
And
I've
the idea that,
actually
like, would
never
it
seen
function
that
like a
authentic.
blaster deflection?
At least I don't think so.
Or like my thing was like I envisioned it like kind of like Force lightning, where like maybe it won't like a blaster
Well,
bolt
it's
just
all-
bounce
it's all
off, but like it'll absorb it.
I think
I
it
don't
would
know.
more absorb the spell than like straight up
But we-
deflect it.
We don't know what spells are made of, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, is it just
This
like
is why I don't really
I feel like it would be
like
more
crossovers too much.
Yeah, I don't
like-
mind them, but at the same time, this is awkward.
you have
But,
these
like,
weird questions?
I feel
Yeah.
like spells would definitely be. This is just my best guess. Spells would be definitely more deflected per se, with like using the force.
Yeah, but again, here's another one though. Can you use Tutuminus to try to like redirect the killing curse?
What?
Can you
What's
use
Tutuminus again?
Tutuminus is like in Attack of the Clones when like Yoda is like absorbing Dooku's force lightning.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Guys, I just
that's
tweeted J.K.
that
Rowling.
ability. Oh,
What?
probably.
We're getting an authority. We're getting an authority on this.
Dude, we need to get Matt Martin and J.K. Rowling. That's- with Tutuminus, I don't know because I don't do we know, I'm guessing we don't know like the nature of the spells in Harry Potter.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But like, could you do that with other spells? Like in theory, could you like absorb? Like if someone were to cast Stupefy and a Jedi catches it with Tutuminus and throws it back at them, will you then just like throw Stupefy right back at them, or do you just
Probably.
absorb
I
it
would
and call it a
know.
day?
I would guess so.
Also, are you technically making contact with the spell?
Can you
Because
can
at
you
that
do
point,
that with? Can you do that with the what are their names? The sisterhood spells.
the Night Sisters.
Yeah, the magic in Star Wars.
Well, that like I don't think anybody like casts like a like Expelliarmus type spell with the Night Sisters. Like a lot of the time,
Right,
it's like a
but,
lot
well-
of necromancy and shit like that.
But that's the closest thing
We
I
have.
think Star Wars has to Harry Potter.
Well, wait a
Powers.
minute. Oh, Levi, you bring up a good point, and you just made me remember. I would assume that like those bow and arrows that the Night Sisters and Night Brothers use are like somehow magic based,
Wait, crap.
and you can deflect those with a lightsaber.
Wait, yeah, that and I just remembered one of the cutscenes in the Malicos fight where Merrin is throwing like magic at Malicos, and Malicos is just blocking them with his lightsaber like they're blaster bolts.
Okay, so like you can
So-
deflect magic with a lightsaber. Then okay, we
Yeah.
answered that question. Thank you, Fallen
All right,
Order.
cool.
Thank you, Connor.
You got it.
Awesome.
I like just remember that like just popped up. So yeah,
Uh,
let me see if I can pull up the video.
But yeah,
Anywho,
Yeah.
yeah, but like with the whole
Uh,
Vader Voldemort thing, and like you said, Connor, like the fight would be over very quickly.
Oh,
Because
100%, dude. Vader's a dude.
I bet-
Voldemort's a
Jared.
bitch.
it would last a little bit. It would last a little bit though, because like Voldemort has his telepathy and his ability to fly. But like those are all things that would catch Vader off guard, and he'd go, "Oh, that's weird. I don't like you." And then end the fight like the second he got a chance, because Voldemort cannot fight close up. Like that's not in his skill set. He is not a brawler. He is going to stand as far away from you as possible and do all this weird shit. But like I don't see him using his robes as tendrils working on Vader. So I like
Jared.
yes.
how long is this episode?
We're coming up on an hour
We're
40.
approaching to. Yeah. Give it
Wait.
another 20 minutes. We'll be at 2 hours.
Jared, what's the time on Audacity?
We're coming up on an hour 40.
Odyssey.
Okay.
Yeah. We're like a minute and a half short of an hour 40. I mean, we can wrap up now if you guys want to.
I mean,
I would like to move from this spot.
Okay. That is understandable.
Um,
No.
Not a huge fan of crossover matchups.
And that's fair. Because
I
it,
think
it
you have
brings up
to
weird
appreciate
yeah.
the feats of the character within their own story.
yeah, like I don't mind them as long as you're able to realize the crossover like can work.
Yeah. And that's
So-
the thing is like you get into weird conversations of like, well, does the killing curse work on the cybernetic limbs? Can you block a spell with a lightsaber? Weird
Who
shit like
cares?
that.
We
yeah.
pretty
What
much
happens
just
same
answered the
universe.
second
Yeah.
question.
Cadabra on a tree.
Yeah. Can you
'Cause, like,
Avada
there's
Kedavra
some-
Groot?
Right. Like there's a lot of cool stuff people from like Avatar The Last Airbender can do.
Yeah.
right? But then compare that to all the freaky shit that happens in One Piece. Like the strongest man in the world, he can literally crack the atmosphere. That doesn't work in any sense, but he does
No.
it,
Yeah.
right? And then compare that to like Superman, even One Piece people can't go against Superman. So I think it just takes away from the presence they have in their respective series.
Yeah,
when we try to do this.
I think the only like universe crossover stuff that like is easy to pull off is like Marvel versus DC stuff.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
I think
Because they're in direct competition with each other. They have, rip-offs or answers to everything the other does.
Yeah, and like then they work under similar mechanics,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you get like really interesting matchups. Where like we're with like Hulk versus Superman.
Yeah,
like which one is gonna max out first? These two characters who rarely ever, if at all, reach their zenith. Which one is gonna crack first? Or like the argument as to whether or not Thor is quote unquote magical enough to be able to take advantage of Superman's weakness with magic. Yeah, stuff like that. I find that stuff fascinating.
man.
There's also the fact that Superman can totally lift Mjolnir, and that becomes very scary for Thor if that happens.
Oh, if you think Clark Kent cannot lift Mjolnir, we need to have a whole different discussion.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Is that like
that's the question.
if Clark thinks to, it's over.
Well, he wouldn't have to. That's the whole thing. Is like when someone lifts it with like maybe the exception of Cap because he had tried before. Like I'm talking specifically MCU, where like he wouldn't think to lift it; he would just lift it.
That's true.
Kind of like Vision, like the scene with Vision in Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
where, like handing it, like Clark would just pick it up and hand it back to Thor, and Thor would shit himself.
I love that visual so much. I see Chris Hemsworth Thor just like 10 times the dread he has in Age of Ultron, where it's like, oh, I'm never gonna walk again. I'm never gonna walk after this.
It's over. I'm a has-been.
With that, Connor, where can the lovely people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Depa Banana. They can find me on Instagram at ConmanJFO, and they can find me on Facebook. Admin in the Alliance of Star Wars Fanatics.
Hell yeah. And Levi, where can the lovely people find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at all lowercase Levi _bomb with the username Professor Levi. And I wish I could swap that around, but I don't know how.
Darn.
That sucks.
Watch One Piece. Oh, and Jared, watch Death Note tonight.
Yeah, that's my goal for tonight, is to at least put a huge, like, leave myself with maybe like 1 or 2 episodes left of Death Note.
Mm-hmm. You'll know when you're supposed to call me.
I look forward to that. Travis, where can the lovely people find you?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Probably watching. Apparently, Dave Chappelle has a new thing on Netflix that I just found. So,
wait, what? Like new?
Yeah, like 2020 new. He accepted some award, and I guess like, in accepting it, he does a set.
Cool.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into
Hold
that.
on. Let me. I found it earlier. Dave Chappelle, the Kennedy Center Mark Twain Prize for American Humor.
Oh, I didn't realize you won a Mark Twain Award last year.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, congrats to Dave Chappelle. That's huge.
Mark Twain is hilarious. I wish he was alive.
He is very funny. I remember watching the night when Seinfeld won. Jerry, not the show. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552. You can also check out the Nerd Academy podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also visit our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where, hiccups, you can find a link to our Patreon. If you're feeling generous during this time, you can donate to us and help us keep the lights on here and bringing you all the nerdy content you love to hear.
And then keep an eye out for our Black Leaders YouTube video.
Yes, which
Oh yeah, it might be out by then.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm
Mhm.
not sure. I wasn't sure on the timetable there, so I didn't want to call attention to it again.
Oh,
if it
Well,
wasn't
now I
out
gave
yet.
you a timetable.
Yeah, I've got 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Leave, I gave you a
A
deadline
week and a
now.
half. I mean, like I have not that I have nothing better to do, but the audio's done for the most part, so I just have to.
Yeah, Travis gave me the privilege of listening to the audio alone, and it is very funny. And I'm looking forward to sharing that around, and we'll probably end up putting it on the website, honestly. So it's right there for you guys to all access quite easily. Thank you all for listening, especially to our patrons who are listening to this early. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you all, and class dismissed. Or no, get to class. We agreed it was get to class on this show. That
You
is going to
ruined
be. I did
It's
ruin
your-
We
it.
gotta scrap this.
Whole episode.
Do it all over.
Hour
Gotta
and
redo the
45
whole
minutes.
2 hours. Goddamn.
Two
Yeah.
hours.
What a shame.
All right, get to class, you bums.